When dividing by two-digit numbers, sometimes we will get a remainder. So the remainder is any number that is left over when the divisor doesn't go into the dividend exactly or evenly. In dividing 180 by 20, one way we learned to divide is to divide by 10 first, which knocks off a 0, and then taking 18 divided by 2, we get 9. We could also do 180 divided by 20 and count by 20s and find out that 20 goes into 180 9 times with no remainder. So method 1 is great if 20 goes into 180 without a remainder. If a remainder would come into play, and you want to know the remainder, this method 2 is better. For example, in 180 divided by 40, if we knock off a 0, 18 divided by 4 does not come out without a remainder. It looks like it would be 4 remainder 2. But that's not completely accurate when you write your answer as a remainder rather than a fraction. If we did 180 divided by 40, we would still get 4, but our remainder would be 20 rather than 2. And so for writing it as a remainder 20 is more accurate. If you were to write them as fractions in this example up here, when we get into mixed numbers, you'll find out that the answer would really be, instead of writing remainder 2, we would put the 2 over our divisor, so it would be 4 and 2/4. In this one, if we didn't write it as a remainder but rather a mixed number, it would be 4 and 20/40. Well, 20/40 and 2/4 are actually equivalent fractions. So if you wrote them as fractions, you'd be okay because they're correct, and they both reduce to 4 and 1/2. But we're going to save that for the fractions chapter. For right now, you need to know to not do the shortcut if it comes out with a remainder. If it comes out with a remainder, you need to do it this way. Pause the video and see if you can work these two out. Remember to use the shortcut if there's not a remainder. If there's a remainder, don't use the shortcut. In the first one, since 8 goes evenly into 24, I'm going to knock off the 0 and know that this answer is 3. The shortcut made it easy. In this example, 9 does not divide into 52, so I can't use the shortcut. I need to divide it out to find out what my real answer is. So 5,200 divided by 90. 9 goes into 52 about 5 times. So 5 times 90 is 450. Subtract. Get 70. Bring down my 0. 90 goes into 70 about 7 times. So 7 times 90 is 630. Subtract, I get a remainder of 70. So 57, remainder 70 is my answer. Now we'll divide numbers that don't end in 0. I want you to remember these steps up here. First step is to divide 83 by 15. And then when you figure out how many, you're going to multiply that and how many times 15. Subtract it from 83, and then bring down a number if there's any other numbers to bring down. You may not have to bring down if you do it in one step. Our problem right now is divide. How many 15s in 83? And I don't have multiples of 15 in my head, so I'm going to round this 15 to 20 just to help me decide how many 15s might be in 83. Now I know there's about 4 20s in 80, so onto the side over here I'm going to try 15 times 4 and see if that's going to work. And I get 60. So it looks like it should work. But I wonder if 5 would work. So I'm going to try 5, and I get 75. That also would work. And if I try 6, that one's too big. Okay, so notice how much extra work we had to do over here just to find that out. And so it's a good idea to have a little piece of paper off to the side where you're doing this workout. Okay, we found out that 15 didn't go into 8, but it went into 83 5 times. So I have to put my 5 over the 3 because it goes into 83, not 8. And then 15 times 5 was 75. So my divide was 5. My 15 times 5 is 75. Now I'm going to subtract, and I get 8. I don't have any more numbers off to the side over here to bring down, so my final answer is 5, remainder 8. We'll try a 3-digit number by a 2-digit number, remembering our divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So 21 is really close to 20. So 20 doesn't go into 3, so I'm going to skip this spot. It does go into 31, so my first digit's going to go right here. So I've got to put a digit right there. And how many 21s in 31? There's 1. So 1, that was my divide, 1 time. Now multiply. 1 times 21 is 21. Next step, subtract, gives me 10. Next step, bring down my 7. How many 21s in 107? Well, I'm going to think of 21 as 20. So if I have 21 times 5, that gives me 105. That is really close. So 5 times 21 is 105. Subtract. Bring down, no more numbers to bring down, so I have a remainder of 2. You pause the video and try this one. Remember to multiply off to the side and think of your 27 as 30 when you're trying to decide what you should try 27 times. If I think of 27 as 30, 30 goes into not 9 but 96. Well, 3 goes into 9 3 times, so I'm going to try 27 times 3. And I get 81. That's really close, and I can see that this is not more than 20 away from 81. So my divide step is 3. Now my multiply step is 3 times 27 was 81. My subtract step gives me 15. My bring down, my 3. Now I divide again, go back to step 1. Divide 27 and 153. But I'm thinking of this as 30. And so how many 30s in 153? Or how many 30s in 15? How many 3s in 15? There's about 5. So off to the side, I'm going to try 27 times 5. It's 135. I wonder if I can get to 153 if I take 27 times the next one, 6. 162 is too big, so I'm going to use 5. So my divide step gives me 5. My multiply 5 times 27 gives me 135. My subtract step gives me 18. So my answer is 35, remainder 18. Always circle the answer when you're showing your work so it's easy to find it.